Okay, now in our previous lecture, I have showed you how you can create your first GraphQL query, and we have set some data in our Gatsby config.js file here, and we have put it in our GraphQL playground here. So now we're going to talk about plugins. Plugins in Gatsby are very important as they are giving us the opportunity to pull data from basically everywhere from the web. We can pull data from custom APIs, we can pull data from WordPress or from other content management systems. And this is the main strength in Gatsby. Although it is insanely fast and SEO optimized, this is one of the main reasons that Gatsby is so popular. So now let's go ahead and learn how we can install plugins. So what you would want to do is to go to gatsbyjs.org, and here on top we have plugins. One of the most popular plugins is the source file system, which we would want to install, and we would want to play around with it to see what we're going to get. So when you open a plugin page, this is basically the documentation of that plugin and how to install it. So basically all the plugins would need to be installed from npm. So here we have our npm install -- save, and we would need to install that on our Gatsby project. However, this is not enough for Gatsby. We would need to configure that in our config.js file. Okay, so now if you're wondering what the configuration is, whenever you're on a plugin page, you should see something like this, how to use, and here you're going to have your plugin configuration. So let's go ahead and copy this. We're going to change it a little bit, but basically we're going to have in our config.js file a section where we have plugins, which is an array, and there we put all the configuration for all the different plugins that we get. And you would want to end that with a square bracket like that. And here let's go ahead and delete the comments here. And this is basically going to search in our src/pages, which we would want to change to our src folder only. And let's change the name to src. And this is our Gatsby source file system configuration. Now, if you're running your server right now, you would need to stop it and rerun it, as we have installed new packages. And now let's go ahead and type Gatsby develop and wait for this to compile. Now that you have recompiled your Gatsby.js project, let's open our GraphQL again and see what we can get from our file system. So let's go ahead and paste that in our browser here. And as you can see, it still remembers our previous query. Now, if you would want to search your history, you can use this button here. And let's just delete the site here. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what kinds of suggestions we are getting now. Let's go ahead and press Ctrl and space, and as you can see we have file and all file here, which is coming from our file system. Now, if you would want to know what the structure of our query is going to be, you can go ahead and press the docs here and search for your query. So let's go ahead and search for all files, all file, and here's our query, all file. Go ahead and press on that, and this is type of a file connection. Okay, so our file connection has the fields of total counts, edges, notes, page info, and other stuff. What we are interested in is the files. So we would need to go inside all files, notes, and here we would be able to get the absolute path, the relative path, the extension, the pretty size, the birth time, the change time, and other stuff that you might find useful. So let's go ahead and build our query now. So first let's type all file, and and from all file we would want to get the nodes, and from the nodes we would like to get the relative path, the pretty size, let's also get the extension and the birth time. And if you prettify, the prettify here is going to format your query. As you can see here, it's a little bit off. So let's go ahead and click that. And as you can see, our query on top has disappeared. So you can also format your query like that. Just curly brackets and start creating your query like this example here. So let's go ahead and run it. And here, let me just make this better for you to view. And now, as you can see, we have fetched all the files that we have in our Gatsby.js project, in the src folder basically. We have the components, the layouts, the pages, etc, etc. So this is it for this lecture. I'm going to see you in the next one.